I rise to speak in support of the Lee Amendment, which I have the honor of co-sponsoring. My views on Afghanistan I expressed a little while ago, but I just want to make a couple of comments. The gentleman from California, Mr. Lewis, said we have to be careful, that we have to be wary of a vacuum should we pull out. He analogized it to what happened when the Soviets lost and there was a vacuum because we turned our backs on it. And he was right. We should not have turned our backs on helping with schooling and other things in Afghanistan at that time. But the fact of the matter is, the world's history is full of empires that threw away their substance on silly military adventures. This is a silly military adventure. It's a total waste, because it is a classic where we are fighting when we have forgotten why we are fighting. We went into Afghanistan to get rid of the Al-Qaeda bases. That took a week. For good measure, we spent another week and got rid of the Taliban government. Now what are we fighting for the last 8 years? To put a government in our image? It's not going to happen. To install and see that there is a government that can rule from Kabul? There hasn't been a government in Kabul who's ran in the entire country since Alexander the Great. That's not going to happen. We can't settle their civil war, which has now gone on for 35 years. Nor will settling their civil war aid our security, which we can't do anyway. And we don't have to. Our security is fighting the terrorists. But the terrorists are all over the place. And maybe we have to, if they develop a base in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, maybe we have to bomb it or send in special forces. Ditto for Somalia or Yemen or God knows where. Every sovereign country, as a condition of its sovereignty, must make sure that its territory is not used to attack someone else. And if territory of some country is being used to attack us or to plot mayhem against us, we have the right and the duty, if necessary, to deal with that. But that's not the question in Afghanistan. The CIA, as I said before, tells us there are fewer than 100 people there. Why do we need 70,000 troops? Those troops could be better occupied back home in the United States, training, helping fight disasters. Our money could be better occupied dealing with our serious fiscal problems, building up our infrastructure, building up our schools, building up our social services, and even building up our military for real threats. There are real threats in the world. Pakistan is dangerous because they have nuclear weapons. We have to pay attention to it. But I fail to see any purpose whatsoever for having tens of thousands of troops, tens of billions of dollars in Afghanistan, where we vanquished the enemy 10 years ago. We ought to declare victory. We should have pulled out, and we should do so right now. And I thank the gentlelady for her amendment, and I yield back the balance of my time.